She says that an indoor cafe is just a box full of bottles, but an outdoor cafe, it pops the cork out of a person's soul.
Good morning. What a lovely day it is. I would like my usual, at my usual table.
Something is missing. We haven't set up the chairs.
Fancy.
It's too soon.
It's never too soon for anything. Tables should be blooming from the sidewalks. Chairs should be sprouting like wildflowers. You are snails when you should be birds.
Our customers would freeze.
Or blow away.
Or drown.
Nonsense. Where are your eyes? Where are your ears? This morning, I distinctly heard a speck of blue.
Well, the sky does look a little brighter, Countess, but I'm not sure it's safe.
If you wait until a thing is safe, it's gone before you get there. What good is a sidewalk cafe with no cafe on the sidewalk? Clouds vanish. You see, declare fine weather, and what's in the atmosphere too.
Compliments of the cafe, Francis. Just a good choice.
Is it all right with Francis?
I think so. Francis has been dead for 40 years.
Are you serving outside today?
Why not? It's spring.
Is the specialty the house pneumonia?
The Countess has declared fine weather.
That's not scientific. The barometer tells the weather.
On the contrary, the weather tells the barometer. Geraniums don't read a weather forecast. Champagne, sir?
Water.
Water. That's very foolish, young man. Everyone knows that water gives you gas.
Who's that?
The Madeleine of Chaillot.
A mad woman? She's mad?
Who says she's mad?
You just said so.
What's mad about her? She's the Madeleine of Chaillot.
I want a glass of water from that pipe immediately.
Would you like some pills to take it with?
Oh, hostess! Have you found it? My feather boa?
Not yet, Countess. 3 stars, but no boa.
It's 5 years since I lost it.
Take one of these. No one's claims in.
A boa like that doesn't just vanish, you know. A feather boa, 9 feet long. How does it look?
Magnificent!
How long does it take to get a simple glass of water? I want to see the proprietor. I ask a question. I get an answer for someone who can't speak.
She was just saying it's turned into an exceptionally beautiful morning, sir.
Who asked her?
But she says it would be even nicer if the gentleman hadn't stuck his face in it.
Ah.
He can't be French.
Swiss, maybe. Or American. Or crazy.
What's the difference?
This water has a formidable taste.
I'll get you another.
No, it's delicious.
That poor man is definitely mad.
He forgot his hat.
I forgot something.
Your hat.
No, the address.
It is very unsatisfactory to see you holding a hat without a man. I would much prefer to see you holding a man without a hat.
What What do you suppose was in his mind, Countess?
Dirt!
Oh, you were right. It's just like yesterday. Maybe worse. Come inside, Countess.
Why? Did the inside just come outside? Can't you see it's raining? Where? Where? Never believe a dirty glass.
Julian, I see a face.
Several faces out there.
I like that one. The one in the overcoat.
That's not a face, it's a tombstone. You want me to get him?
No need. He'll be here shortly. This is the president. Yes. Have my lawyer join us immediately. I near the Riverbank Inn. Julian, what do they call this section?
Shio.
Shia, immediately. Ah, thank you. I've never seen that man, but he's never seen me. But we know each other to the depths of our souls. He is my brother. He is myself.
Shoelaces, brown, black, or one of each.
Julian, get rid of this thing.
Come on, Mr. President, just one little shoelace to brighten her day.
She expects nothing from us. She has a clientele of her own. She sells shoelaces to people who have no shoes. How much do you need?
50,000 cash.
I'm listening.
Mr. President, I'm a prospector.
Oh, you have a claim?
Yes?
Promising?
Enormously.
Foreign?
Hardly.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Prospecting in Paris?
For women, no doubt. What took you so long? You're supposed to be here 30 seconds ago. My lawyer. I rarely breathe a word without consulting him, and this boy is practically my son.
Mr. President, do you realize what lies under the cobblestones of Paris?
No. Is it possible?
It's certain. Paris is floating on a lake of oil.
Well, how do you know?
My tongue and my nose tell me, if a water pipe passes near oil, it flavors the fluid inside.
And you can detect this?
Sample number 2,439. Case, Mr. President.
Oh! It's worse than worse. Oh!
Delicious. Gentlemen, we are in the presence of one of nature's noblemen. Men like this make possible the greatest invention in our time, the corporation. Friend and new business partner, I give you a toast. The glorious vintage our planet can produce. Drop the papers immediately. This will double my fortune. Quadruple it, maybe.
May I ask a question?
Of course not.
I'm gonna ask it anyhow. Why would you want to double your fortune?
My boy, money gets lonely. It needs company.
But when do you stop?
Why stop? Absence is the luxury of the poor. Besides, the best bite may be the best of all. Right? What's the matter with you?
Mr. President, there's something on top of that oil.
Ah! The National Assembly, Notre Dame, I say drill, even if it's in the middle of the Louvre, right under the smirk of Mona Lisa.
It's here in Chaillot, the, Cafe Francis.
A mere cafe? There are thousands of cafes in Paris, not a single oil well. Julian,
Yeah?
take this.
It's a bomb!
It's harmless until I set the timer, of course. Noon, the perfect time to break ground. Casually deposit this in a flower box. Go on.
Crazy?
I didn't hear you say that.
There are living people in that cafe. Dead people if I plant your bomb.
Are they friends or relatives of yours?
No.
Then what do you care?
I'll be your human horsepower. Run errands for you. Answer you when you bellow.
I never felt.
I will not run a cafe full of people.
Julian, without temper and without temperament, you will do exactly as I told you. Otherwise, you know what will happen if you don't. Now take the bomb. We're in business. The grand opening is at noon.
A hole in the middle of Paris. Won't people object?
Well, we'll plant a new kind of tree. A derrick.
In Chaillot.
Which would you rather have growing in your backyard? An almond tree or a derrick? It's pumping out liquid gold for us. More and more and more. Imagination, it's a great thing. Financiers are creative artists. We are poets. Taking francs from the rich has a certain allure, but it's even more fun when you're screwing the poor. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more. For each man has a natural desire to find a plot of earth that he can acquire, and so to rest my bones the day I retire, I would simply adore just an acre of ground,
One respectable piece, just a little backyard.
Argentina or Greece. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more. There's always room for just a little bit more. There's always room for just a little bit more. Most people fail to see the infinite scope and the endless extent of their capacity. And so when we have licked the plate clean, and we have picked the bone and passed the last bean, when we have stuffed and gorged and glutted and bloated, we still hunger for just a mite of a mousse, just a gram of Gruyere, just a tiny souffle, just a tiny eclair, just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
I'm famished. At what hour do you serve food?
At noon, but sit down. It won't be long.
Are my bones ready, Nina?
There won't be much today. We had broilers last night.
What about my gizzards then?
A customer ate them before I could get the plate away, but I saved you some giblets.
Good, good. That will do for the tomcat who lives under the bridge. He likes a few giblets now and then.
Yes, Countess.
We can't ignore our responsibilities, you know. The cats of Paris depend on me for their gizzards. 2, 3. Very good. Someday I'll juggle him so well. I won't drop him. Is the clock striking noon, Roderick?
Yes, madam, but my name is Ellen.
Nonsense. At noon, all men become Roderick. Each hour on the hour, all men's names automatically change. Everyone knows that. You must be new here.
I never heard that.
My dear friend, you're living in the past. In the old days, when a woman was tired of a man named so-and-so, she had to change the man. I did it, of course, but it was fashion. Nowadays, we're more practical. instead of changing the man, we changed the name. Something wrong, Nina?
I have a feeling, as if something's going to happen.
It usually does. 12. Excellent, Roger. 12.
Trout man! Trout man!
He's not drowned, his clothes are dry.
He's been slugged.
Naturally, he was jumping off the bridge and I pulled him back. I slugged him so he wouldn't drag me under. Life-saving manual rule number 5. In cases where there is danger of being dragged under, you must render the subject unconscious with a sharp blow. He's had that.
What are you doing?
Artificial respiration, first aid to the drowning.
But he's not drowning.
He thinks he is, and that could be worse.
That's only for people who drown in water. It's no good at all when they drown without water.
Well, I'm new on the force, so I go by the book. Witnesses! Witnesses! I've got to have witnesses!
You should have let him jump, then dived in to save him. You'd have gotten a medal.
I can't swim.
Who is he?
Look in his pockets.
Nothing, not even a wallet. He's beautiful. Is he dead?
Who can tell?
Put the silver spoon to his mouth. The cloud's over.
It clouds over.
He's alive!
Oh, thank God I'm dead.
No, you're not.
I must be seeing angels.
Nina. Coming.
Nina!
Coming.
I guess I'm not dead.
You're looking at my iris. Isn't it beautiful?
Very. Is this the Cafe Francis?
One of the best places in Paris to fall in love. They should list it that way in the Michelin Guide. 4 stars! Love attracts more customers than mere food.
Let me go. They'll find me here.
I'll do nothing of the sort. I let Albert Berthaud go while I was holding him, and I never saw there again.
Not
Never
a
again.
single witness except for myself and the man who drowned in the Seine.
But he's not drowning in the Seine, he's drowning here. But I won't let him drown, because I'm holding him tight, as I should have held Albert Berthaud.
Okay, well, I need the drowned man's name.
His name is Roger. It's to be fortunate, Roger. And no matter what happens to Tarnish today, an utterly unused piece of time is waiting around the curve of midnight.
If your world falls flat on its face today, you can erase today. Tomorrow morning, discover all of your past mistakes. Gone with the thought of makes. Tomorrow morning, you will see your life in a different light, crystal and crisp and clear and white. What began in water is no long lost star that you cannot reach, for your perfect face each. Tomorrow morning, you're brave. Tomorrow morning, you're strong. Tomorrow morning, you can begin again.
When you first wake up tomorrow morning, it may not seem so promising. You take your hair out of the drawer, and your teeth out of the glass. You're apt to feel a little out of place in this world. Especially if you've just been dreaming you're a little girl on a pony, searching for strawberries in the wood. But all you need to feel the call of life tomorrow morning is a letter in your mail, giving you your schedule for the day. You're mending. You're shopping. The letter to your grandmother you never seem to get around to. And you wash your face in rose water. Powdering. Not that awful rice powder they sell nowadays that does nothing for the skin. With a cake of pure, white starch. And you put on your rings, brooches, bracelets, earrings, and pearls. In short, when you're ready to receive your morning coffee. And you take a good look at yourself. Not at the glass, of course. It lies. But in the side of a big brass gong that once belonged to the immortal Sarah. Then, Roderick, then you're ready for tomorrow morning.
You wake up the luckiest man on earth. Proud that your life is worth going on forever. There's no long-lost star that you cannot reach, for your perfect days are each. Tomorrow morning you're brave, tomorrow morning you're strong, tomorrow morning you can begin on
Madame, how do you manage to forget what's going on?
You think I won't read the morning newspaper? I will. But not the one in print tomorrow morning, full of lies and vulgarity. I always read the Gaulois, the issue of 22nd March, 1923. It has some delightful scandal, some excellent fashion notes, and of course, a last-minute bulletin on the death of Leonardo Blanc. She used to live next door. Poor woman. And when I learn of her death tomorrow morning, it will give me quite a shock. I will recover while I'm dressing. Of course, there's the usual fruitless search for my feather boa. But then Chaillot calls. It will be time for my morning walk, my daily voyage of adventure, and it can be yours too.
If your world falls flat on its face today, you can erase today, tomorrow morning. You'll discover all of your past mistakes, gone when the world awakes, tomorrow morning. You will see your life in a different light, crystal and crisp and clear and white, when beginning over. There's no long lost star that you cannot reach, for your perfect days are each. Tomorrow morning I'll wake, tomorrow morning I'll strong, tomorrow morning you can begin again.
And that's only tomorrow morning. Wait until I tell you about tomorrow afternoon. There he is, Mina. He isn't drowning anymore. There she is, Roderick. She wouldn't look so beautiful from the bottom of the sand. Hurry, children, you're wasting so much time. Speak to each other.
Oh, is something wrong, Countess?
All of a sudden, he turned and looked at me. What if he hadn't turned? What if I hadn't been walking that day through the little park at Cologne, and the man with the torn cap hadn't been playing the concertina? You see how important it is to be in the exact place where your life is happening? Because if you wander off or don't turn and look, you may miss each other entirely. Hurry, children, go to the little park at Cologne
They've closed the park at Cologne.
and listen for the concertina music.
Nobody plays concertina music anymore.
Is that the cafe?
I'm afraid it is.
What's it doing here? I want a hole in the ground. Julian, what happened?
I couldn't do it.
All right, young man, come along.
I'm perfectly all right to here.
His men.
Madam, whoever you are, this man is my employee, and he is going with me.
No!
Officer! Officer!
Madam, whoever you are, you will oblige me by letting this young man go.
I will not oblige you in any way whatsoever.
She says this young man's life is in danger. He mustn't go with these men.
How does she know?
She knows everything.
Arrest this woman.
What's the trouble now?
What's the mind saying?
He really is in danger. He mustn't go.
Move it along. You're blocking traffic.
You're telling me what to do?
You heard me.
Give me your name and number. Just remember, Julian, we can do to you what you didn't do.
What didn't you do, Roderick?
I didn't blow up this cafe. I put the bomb in the river instead of in that flower box.
Blow up a flower box. Why would anyone want to do that?
They want to blow up the whole world.
Have they lost something? What are they looking for?
Oil.
Is that a new reason to blow up a flower box? Or even the city? What do they want with oil?
They want to splatter it all over the place and use it to drive their tanks and their bombers and battleships and etc.
Oh, fantastic!
Countess, that isn't funny. By the spring of next year, the whole place could be covered with the forest of derricks and drills.
I refuse to believe it. The world is beautiful. Happy. That's how God made it. Why would it be otherwise?
Countess, if only you knew.
Knew what?
Don't tell her.
What are you hiding from me?
Paris has changed. The whole world has changed.
I haven't noticed. How?
People used to buy my shoelaces even when they didn't need them.
Nobody sings.
They don't even whistle.
I haven't heard a good laugh for months.
The very air is different. You can't trust it. If I throw my torch up high, they go out.
People just aren't happy.
Oh dear, stop! You're frightening me.
Music is no longer loving, and laughter is no longer lilting, and lovers are no longer loving. Then I don't want to know if summer is no longer carefree, and children are no longer singing, and people are no longer happy. Then I don't want to know. Let me hide every truth from my eyes with the back of my hand. Let me live in a world full of lies with my head in the sand. For my memories all are exciting, my memories all are enchanting, my memories burn in my head with a steady glow. So with my friends, if love is dead, I don't want to know.
We'll go ask Constance if there's a smidgen of truth in what you've all been saying.
Who's Constance?
The madwoman of the flea market.
And have Gabrielle meet us there. You know where she lives. Ring twice and meow like a cat 3 times beneath her window.
Another madwoman?
Of Montmartre.
Gabrielle is a famous, unknown authority on art. What Constance can't tell you, Gabrielle will. Artists and junk dealers know what's happening to us long before we do. My boa,
The one that was stolen, Countess?
naturally.
It still hasn't turned up, but someone left an earmine collar. See for yourself.
You're on, Valentine.
Madam, my name is Julian. You've been calling me Roderick.
Nonsense, it's just struck 1. At 1, almond becomes Valentine. given up giving up?
That was yesterday.
Splendid! Then that makes today tomorrow.
There's no long lost star that you cannot reach, for your perfect day starts each tomorrow morning. You're brave. Tomorrow morning you're strong. Tomorrow morning you can begin again.
Nina, after I clean up, Countess.
To the flea market.
It may not seem so grand to some to be a waitress in Paris, but I love it. A waitress meets all sorts of people. She observes life. I hate to be alone. I love people. But I've never said I love you to a man. Oh, they've tried to make me say it. They put their arms around me, but I pretend I don't see it. They pinch me, but I pretend I don't feel it. They kiss me, but I pretend not to notice. They take me out and make me drink, but I'm careful. I've walked in the dawn on somebody's arm and looked at the lights along the shore. But I've never said I love you. So when I say I love you, you'll know I've never loved before. I've touched in the dark and laughed in the rain and listened to all the old cliches. But I've never said I love you. I'm saving mine. I love you for someone worthy of the phrase. For somebody wise and strong and tall. And yet he may not be there at all. I only know we'll turn and we'll look, we'll nod and we'll know, we'll stop and we'll stare, and then I'll gratefully say I love you. And when I say I love you, you'll know I've never loved before. You'll know
authentic beds where Talleyrand slept. And who knows how many bathtubs where Marat received Charlotte Corday. Constance, where are you? Constance!
You needn't shout today, my dear. It's Wednesday. Wednesdays I hear perfectly.
It's Thursday.
It is? Well, never mind. Countess, if you're looking for your feather boa still, I haven't seen it since Victor Hugo's funeral.
Constance, you have absolutely no conception of time. People think something terrible has happened.
Oh, good. Tell me about it.
I want you to tell them. The world's not unhappy, is it, Constance? What do you think?
Oh, I never think, Countess. I feel. It's a far more reliable emotion.
But what do you feel then?
Oh, I never think about what I'm feeling, because I never know how I may feel about what I'm thinking.
Logic. It solves everything.
Come along, Dicky boy. Oh, would you stop that barking? What a racket you're making. Countess, I hear you have important news. I know what it is. Albert Berteau has proposed at last. I knew he would.
Gabrielle, we're not concerned about there today. There seems to be some trouble with the future of the human race.
The future of the human race? I didn't know it had a future. Countess, you haven't said hello to Dicky. Hello, Dicky. He's not up there. He's much smaller.
Sorry. I adore animals.
Then you should pat them where they are. Otherwise, it's a form of hypocrisy. Dicky's over here now.
Get Dicky away. A flea market is no place for a dog.
Let's get straight to the point. Constance, has your junk lost its beauty?
I shall disregard your use of the word junk.
This rustling taffeta, these shimmering chandeliers, don't you enjoy them?
I enjoy them, but does anybody else?
I enjoy everything. I think the world is beautiful.
Only for idiots like you who don't look at it. When one grows old, Gabrielle, one is supposed to become wise. Wiser at any rate.
I intend to remain blissfully young, thank you.
But when one has been as young, as many years as you...
Isn't she dreadful? Dicky, fight her!
Oh dear, stop arguing! We must consult a higher authority. The sewer man. Everybody find a manhole cover and tap out the letter S. S for sewer man.
What we need is a bloodhound.
Gabrielle, dear, is by Dicky any chance a bloodhound?
Certainly not.
Why couldn't he be? As long as you're imagining him anyhow.
He's certainly no help as he is.
Well, I guess he could be a bloodhound. Just for a few minutes to show how clever he is. Point, Dicky!
Bloodhounds don't point, dear. They sniff.
Sniff, Dicky.
Kindly accept my apologies.
No, Constance, the grand dame of the flea market. And Gabrielle, the artistic conscience of Montmartre.
There's so little elegance left in the world these days.
Well, it has been driven underground.
But not lost. You, my dear sewer man, of all people, must know that grace, style, manners have not disappeared from your unique view of Paris, your inverted Eiffel Tower, as it were. You should know that young men like this should stay vigorously alive, and young girls like this should continue to fall desperately in love. Nothing's happened to change that, has it, sewer man?
Well,
It's truth. Simply tell them the truth.
well, that depends, Countess. What particular truth just happens to float by? In my line of work, I'm constantly in the best restaurants in Paris. Well, it's a few days later, but in my opinion, if the way things were is more congenial than the way they are, why not choose the more gracious moment? Why inhale the unpleasant present when we can turn our noses toward a more fragrant time?
Garbage, fragrance?
Well, hey, look, it used to be. If garbage smelled a little strange, it was because it was a little confused. Everything was there. Sardines, cologne, iodine, roses. Ah, the feast you found floating by. Pâté de foie gras, Thursday's gardenias, ribbons and orange rinds. lines. A volume of Chaucer bound in Morocco, lilies and coffee grinds. The pit of a peach, the stem of a cherry, floating in pink champagne. There was a time when garbage was a pleasure, when you found the sound of good and plenty gurgling in your drain. The world was all ginger and lime. The world was the rustle of silk, purple and puce, crystal and lace, fresh orange juice, ginger and lime. The shell of a clam, the claw of a lobster, hairpins and chocolate mousse. A page of Othello, gilt at the edges, daisies and charlotte ruses. A rose and a fan, a piece of pimento, floating in turquoise ink. There was a time when garbage was a pleasure, when you found the joy of gracious living underneath your sink.
Well, yes, Countess, but only yours. It is against my nature to use vile language, but to be quite honest, these days the sewer stinks. Yes, dear ladies, from down there I look up and see that the elegance is fading from the world.
Garbage today is nothing but garbage, just a synthetic mess. A plastic container, dinner was cooked in somebody's paper dress.
Somebody's wig, a bright yellow vinyl, makes one take pause and think.
About the time when garbage was a pleasure.
When you found the joy of gracious living underneath your sink.
But it's not merely the sewer that's gone down the drain. Today, conversation is grunting. Emotion is mechanical. The nights of candlelight and chandeliers are gone. We Must Make Love by neon.
No, it hasn't happened.
Yes, Countess, there was a day when you could walk around Paris and all the people you met were just like yourself.
Well, not so elegant, or so well dressed, perhaps.
But you knew them. They were you. Then one day I saw the first one, a face in the crowd, a face, you might say, without a face. It saw me staring, and when it looked at me with its gelatin eyes, I shuddered. Because I knew that to make room for this one of us must have left the earth.
describe them to me.
Well, their clothes don't wrinkle.
Their hats don't come off.
When they talk, they don't look at you.
They don't perspire.
They enjoy themselves by torturing themselves.
Did you know about this, Nina?
All I know is that the hostess says that Faith is dead.
I stopped taking bets over the phone.
Those men who came looking for you, are there more of them?
Yes.
How many?
Too many.
Thousands. Tens of thousands.
What work do they do?
They don't work. They're all pimps. Pardon my language, young lady.
It's all right. She doesn't understand anything.
Yes, Countess, I remember a day when a cabbage could sell itself just by being a cabbage.
Nowadays, it has to have an agent and pay him a commission.
Nothing is free to sell itself or give itself away. These days, Countess, every cabbage has its pimp.
Who let this happen?
Who knows? Little by little, the pimps have taken over the world. They don't do anything, they don't make anything, they just stand there and take their cut. Look at the shopkeepers. Do they ever smile at a customer anymore? Certainly not. Their smiles are strictly for the pimps. The butcher has to smile at the meat pimp, the florist at the rose pimp, the grocer at the fresh fruit and vegetable pimp.
Gabrielle, Constance, do you believe him?
Countess, what are we gonna do?
Fight them!
But there are so many of them. And look at us.
I think we're outnumbered.
Nonsense. There's no number larger than one. Once you know that, numbers can't frighten you. One is the largest number in all the world.
One person can beat a drum and make the movement for 10. One person can blow a horn, and that little boom and that little blare can make 100 others care. And one person can hold a torch and light the sky. And one little voice that's squeaking a song can make 1,000,000 voices strong. If one person can beat a drum and one person can blow a horn, if one person can hold a torch, then one person can change the world.
There may be an army of them, and only a handful of us.
And how can a poor little band fight a mighty regime?
There may be a legion of them and only a parcel of us, but it isn't the size of the fist, it's the size of the dream.
One person can beat a drum and make enough noise for 10. One person can blow a horn, and that little boom and that little blare can make 100 others stare. If one person can hold a torch and light up the sky, I can. And one little voice that's singing a song can make 1,000,000 voices strong. If one
Person can beat a drum and one person can blow a horn. If one
person can hold a torch, then one person can change the world. There may be an army of them, and only a handful of us. But how can a poor little band fight a mighty regime? There may be a legion of them, and only a parcel of us. But it isn't the size of the fist, it's the size of the dream, size of the dream, size of the dream, size of the dream. One person can beat the drum, and one person can blow a horn. If one person can hold a torch, then one person can change the world.
blow up the cafe yourself.
That would be work. And the president, he never works.
If I do a job and fail, who am I to blame? Besides, that would be moral injustice to my employees. If I work, I'm putting workers out of work. I'm not that cruel.
I demand action. I'm going to another corporation.
Why would you want to do a thing like that? That would bruise our friendship, and there is nothing worse than a friend that is no longer a friend. Look, do you see Paris?
Of course.
No, that's Paris merely as it is. Don't lose sight of the lovely and lucrative Paris you and I can create together. Where Notre Dame is, what do you think we're going to have? Oil wells. Carousel over there, we'll turn it into an oil storage tank. The kids would love that.
What about the Eiffel Tower?
It's already a derrick. Use it.
There will be a sweet taste in the air from industrial waste in the air, and your eyelids will smart from the sting of the smog in the spring of next year. There will be a black slick on the Seine, and the sludge will be thick on the sand, and your eardrums will thrill to the ring of the axe in the spring of next year.
Ah, the apple trees blooming as they're crushed into pulp. There'll be smokestacks consuming each available gulp.
That's inhalable. The moment most thrilling begins when the pneumatic drilling begins. It's a song that old Paris will sing in the bountiful spring of next year. We'll be watching the statues grow. We'll be hearing the fountains explode. It's a song that all hatchets will ring and all derricks will swing and all Paris will sing in the bountiful spring of next year.
Countess! Oh, Countess!
Mom, my dear Superman, why are your boots in your hands instead of on your feet?
Etiquette, Countess. Etiquette.
How nice. But don't stand on ceremony here. Put your boots on.
Thank you very much.
I've been out all night conferring with my cats about the end of the world.
And what did they say?
They're silent, which is a very bad sign. This is for you. Not in as good condition as usual, I'm afraid. Quite frankly, I'm discouraged. I don't know how to save the human race.
Well, must you do it, Countess?
If I don't, who will? Everybody leaves it to somebody else. How do you keep everything so neat in the sewer and in such good order?
Well, very simple. We dispose of what must be disposed of.
Who decides? Do you have a king?
No, down in the sewer, we're all good Republicans. But oh, the things that they say about us.
That we have girls down there who never see the light of day?
Not true?
What do you mean? Of course not!
There are rumors about orgies by torchlight with gondolas and guitars, and rats that dance as they follow the piper.
Well, that's nonsense. The rats are never allowed to dance.
That night, I found you here in my cellar, looking very pale and strange. And I gave you some brandy.
Yeah, I remember.
And you promised me if I ever should need it, you'd tell me the secret of this room.
No, not the secret of the hidden door. Sorry.
The secret of the hidden door? Where is it?
Only the king of the sewermen knows that.
I'm sure of it. I know most secrets, of course. I have 3 magic words that can open any door the magic words can open. And I've tried them all, in various tones of voice, and they don't seem to work. Please show me the hidden door.
But must you know, Countess?
Yes, I need it now. Where do those stairs lead?
Nowhere.
But they must go somewhere.
They just go down.
Only down.
Look, there are just some things that are simply not suitable for a sewer. So there's a lower level.
You mean the sewer has a sewer?
Exactly. Or my sewer might become polluted. Well, I'm told that cutthroats down there are extremely happy. For in the sewer below the sewer, cutthroats are kings.
By any chance, do you think there's oil down there?
I don't know, maybe.
Can I make it open and close?
Well, certainly. To open, you press here. To close, you press there. See? Now there's 2 of us in the world that knows. Goodbye.
Here I am, Countess. I got your note. I know it's important. You found your feather boa.
Constance, it's not a question of my boa today. I've been thinking that
You must give that up immediately. Thinking's hard on the skin. It makes wrinkles.
we have enemies and we must defeat them. This afternoon.
Stop trying to do things about things. It's never worked in the past, so there's no future in it.
Constance, if you desert me again, I won't leave my cats to you in my will.
Thank God.
Meow.
There's another one of them. That's not a cat. That's Gabrielle. Does she have that dog again with her?
Dickie? I'm never sure. Come, Gabrielle. Constance is here and we need you.
Countess needs us. You hear that, Dickie?
An important decision has to be made, and 3 heads are better than none. I need your mature wisdom.
Isn't that lovely? Dickie, go jump in Countess's lap and kiss her on the chin. Go on, Dickie, jump, jump!
I don't want Dickie in my lap when we're discussing the future of the human race. His box is over in the corner, and he can just go and sit in it. Go, Dickie, shoot!
You're against Dickie, too?
I don't mind taking Dickie into my lap. He loves sitting in Auntie Constance's lap. Don't you, little Dickie?
Stop putting on angelic airs, Constance. You're too sweet to be sincere.
We're wasting time. We have enemies, and we must defeat them. This afternoon, preferably before tea.
I'd like tea now.
I do wish I knew more about the law. Constance, wasn't your late husband's brother an advocate? An attorney at law?
My husband? I remember his brother. My, he was lecherous.
What does she mean?
Forgive me, Gabrielle. I forget you're a virgin.
After all, there are 2 sexes.
Oh?
You can't be as innocent as all that, Gabrielle. After all, you keep canaries.
Emile. That was his name.
Whose name?
My husband's brother. I remember him vividly. And I remember Henri, and Armand, and Michel, and... I remember Claude. His face was gaunt, his skin was pale. His bony little fingers were so delicate and frail. Yes, I remember Claude in every intimate detail. But I remember absolutely
a great deal about the law.
If there's a trial, let me testify on either side or both. I'm a marvelous mystery witness. You never know what I'm going to say. Trial, what memories I have that sweet Captain Drivers and Zola waving his arms and throwing kisses at me.
Really?
How dare you question my memories? Suppose I were to say your pearls were false. They were. I'm not asking you what they were, I'm asking you what they are.
Surely you must know when you wear pearls that little by little the pearls become real.
And isn't it the same with memories?
Get your memories out of this room. I won't have them sitting around staring at me.
The next thing she's going to say is that Dickie doesn't exist! Dickie, darling little Dickie, I'm so proud of my little plump, little shy, little cuddly chap. Dickie, Dickie, always lying flat on your fat tummy here on your dear mummy's lap. Stop barking even when I have to scold you. Mummy's just as thrilled as can be how magnificently you obey. I will not sit back and allow you to insult him this way. Dickie, poor Dickie, dear Dickie. The fact is, my dears, that I didn't even bring him today.
Well, this is incredibly absurd. How can you have an intelligent conversation with an imaginary dog that's not even here?
We need an expert opinion from an expert, whether he exists or not.
Then I'll go straight home and consult my voices.
Your voices are not real voices.
How dare you say a thing like that?
Where do your voices come from?
Still from your sewing machine? Not at all. They passed into my hot water bottle. I hear them almost anywhere I care to listen.
Chatter, 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 there are voices in my pantry that are wishing me a hearty appetite. Gurgle, 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 there are voices in my teapot with advice for housewives. Chatter, 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 there are voices in my pillow that have come to tuck me in and spend the night. And voices in my vacuum cleaner that can be extremely impolite. Chatter, 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 there are voices in my closet saying wear the fuchsia gloves and purple veil. And voices in my piano sing up and down the oriental scale. If I welcome them and take them to my bosom, it's quite obvious indeed that those lovely little voices are the only friends a girl will ever need.
Just talk. Everybody knows that. It's the principle of the photograph. But to ask a hot water bottle for advice is silly. What does the hot water bottle know? We must consult the universe.
The universe, do we dare?
Aren't we citizens of it? We simply consult our fellow citizens.
We did that yesterday, all over Paris, and nobody even had the courtesy to listen.
We made a mistake. We only went to invisible people.
Invisible people? Where are they? I want to see them.
They're all around us.
I don't believe it.
Constance, are we so unattractive that of all the millions of things, imaginary or otherwise, prowling about in space, that one of them might not enjoy spending a little time with us? On the contrary, my dears, my house is full of guests, always. They know they can come here when they're lonely and be sure of a welcome. And I'm delighted to have them. And as long as they're here listening to us, we might as well listen to them.
Everything that was is, everything that lived lives, Every little thought ever thought is as lasting as time. Everything that was is, everything that is will be. Some distant day they'll be saying the same that I'm saying now. For we are not alone here. There are other minds here. Full air and keeps are enraged and engaged in a row. Listen to the lovely language, all the lessons Voltaire ever taught, and all the thoughts of good I ever thought are right here in this air, in this house, in this room with us now.
Well, what does it say?
It's giving a scholarly sermon on logic.
I don't believe a single word your hot water bottle says. Dickie, tell us the truth.
I thought he wasn't here.
Oh, well, he just arrived. And in the nick of time. Speak, Dickie.
Speak, voices.
Speak, Voltaire.
Chatter, 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 there are voices in my ears. They're wishing me a hearty appetite. Every little babble, there are voices in my breathing with their voice. Chatter, 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 there are voices in my pillow. But it's not funny, it's never healthy.
Some distant day that he's saying, and you're saying that I'm saying now. For we are not alone here. There are lots of minds here. Full air and peace are enraged and engaged in a row. Listen to the lovely language, all the lessons Voltaire ever taught, and all the thoughts of good I ever thought are right here in this air, in this house, in this room with us now. We are not alone here. There are lots of minds here. Full air and peace are enraged and engaged in a row. Listen to the lovely language, all the lessons Voltaire ever taught, and all the thoughts of good I ever thought are right here in this air, in this house, in this room with us now.
Oh, no, we'll be fine. We won't do anything illegal.
I'm no more a judge of them than a doctor is a judge when he cures a patient by getting rid of his germs. The trick is to make the germs want to leave.
Countess, thank heaven you're safe. We've been so worried about you.
Oh, it's so good to have some real people here for a change.
Julian, tell her about those men.
Julian? Who's Julian? Oh, it's just past 4. How good to see you again, Bartholomew.
But he's in danger. Those men want to get rid of Julian and everything human in the human race.
We have a plan. Send them out of our world and then to their own.
It won't be that easy, Countess. They have all the power and all the money, and they're greedy for more.
What do the greedy men want to do?
They want to blow up the world.
I'm told that's very fashionable these days. Yes, but you can only do it once. We need something to bait them. Like fish!
Worms!
It must be something they like. Something they want. The lure must be alluring. Ant paste must be a delicacy for ants. Rat poison must be tasty for rats. Your watch, Bartholomew, does it glow in the dark?
Yes, it does.
Give it to me.
My watch?
Nina, child, there's a medicine bottle in the cabinet at the back. Go and get it. There's a spider who's guarding it for me, but tell him it's all right. He can have it back as soon as we're finished. Put about 3 fingers of water into it, but under no conditions wash the bottle. The dirtier the better. Your nail file, please. My Tuesday one. Is your Friday one sharp as a fish's nose? Hold the bottle right here, child.
If you scrape off the numbers, what good will it be?
Oh, you'll like your watch far better this way. The numbers are the hands are much more interesting than the numbers anyway. Besides, we all pay far too much attention to time. Everyone has the same amount. Too much and not enough.
I don't understand anything about anything about anything.
That's the natural condition for a virgin, Gabrielle.
This will trap the germs. After all, we can't expect them to trap themselves. They need help.
They'll be missed.
Nonsense! Do you miss a cold when it's gone? When the world is well again, do you think it will regret its illness? No. It will stretch itself joyfully, and it will smile. Go and put this in the trunk. When it's dark again, go and get it out, and go and find that distasteful man who goes around tasting water.
You don't want him again.
If he likes the flavor, he'll think there's a great deal more, like this dress.
Hey, I'll go with you.
No, stay here. It's safer. You don't mind if he stays, do you, Countess?
By following you?
I can't think of anything I'd mind less. There's a great deal to be done. Man's work. Go and take the mirror off the wardrobe door and deliver me once and for all from that old Harvey who lives in the glass. You can let the mouse out of the trap. I'm tired of feeding him.
When shall we three meet again?
Really, Gabrielle, you must never quote Moliere unless you quote Shakespeare simultaneously. After all, both may be listening, and we don't want to offend either one of them.
I'll go wait outside the American Embassy for President Wilson. I'm sure he'll have some helpful advice for us.
You'll have a long wait. He's been dead since 1924.
Oh, I have plenty of time. Come on, Dickie. Come inside. It's time for your afternoon nap, Countess.
Thank you, Nina. I am tired.
Look after her, Julian.
My boa! Wherever did you find it?
It was in the trunk, Countess. How cruel he was, your Albert Berteau.
There, Bear? Who? Oh, no.
He did the most wonderful thing for me, merely with his eyes.
Looked at me, and I was beautiful, for it was beautiful how he believed in me. His love was strong enough to make me anything, so I was everything he wanted me to be. But then he walked away and took my smile with him,
President! Mr. President! Taste this.
Ooh, what is it?
Radioactivity. The pipes that carry that water must pass through a vein of incredibly rich uranium ore.
Great! That's delicious! It's better than oil! It's total power! All of Paris will be one gigantic slag heap!
Beautiful.
Well, where did you find this?
Some simpleton.
Well, where is he?
I don't know.
What kind of prospector are you? Find him!
Those men are sick.
2 billion of us are sick.
By next week, maybe 3 billion.
She says the Countess says there's no number larger than 1. Why can't we treat the world as just one patient?
That'll never work, unless the patient really wants to get well. Someone has wounded you, dear world. Someone has poisoned you, dear world. And those who love you defiantly insist that you get off that critical list. So make your recovery quick, world. We're sick of having a sick world. We want you dancing tomorrow afternoon. So be a dear world. Rip the bandage off, dear world. Take the stitches out, dear world, and get well soon. Please take your medicine, dear world.
Be the bread, dear world. Your very finger, a very solely pleased. Help us declare you patient dismissed.
And stand on your crutches with pride, world.
You've got to save your own high world. We're no one ready to trade you for the moon. So
Countess! Countess!
Oh, Nina! Is the upper crust crumbling?
There's a whole procession of them. The street is full of limousines and taxis.
We shall receive them.
Madam, I've heard a delightful rumor that there is something of immense value at this address.
Immense.
Hey, that's the bottle.
Well, where did you get it?
I can't imagine. Unless... Wait, you're going down there entirely of your own choice?
Nothing could stop me.
Well, we may as well close it and pretend that it ever existed. Where are you going?
One away.
Why?
I can't stay here. I have to find out who I am. I might end up like one of them.
Nonsense! Did you want to follow those men down into that hole?
No.
Then you're not. And how can you find out who you are all by yourself? There she is! There's Nina. It's hours since you've met and known and loved each other. Kiss each other quickly. He hesitates. He trembles. Howl like a man.
Before you half remember what her smile was like, before you half recall the day you found her, kiss her now while she's young. Kiss her now while she's yours. Kiss her now while she needs your arms around her. For if you let a moment come between you now, it soon becomes a day, a year, a lifetime. Blink your eyes, turn your head, and you've lost her. And you'll spend half your life wandering home. So before you forget how you loved her, kiss her now, kiss her now, kiss her now.
Kiss him, Nina. Kiss him while there's time. For in a moment his hair will be white, and there will be another mad woman in Paris.
Blink your eyes, turn your head, and you've lost her. And you'll spend all your life wandering home. So before you forget how you loved her, kiss her now. Kiss her now, kiss her now.
Bravo! Oh, Albert Berteau, if you'd only had the courage to do that 30 years ago, how different I would be today.
Countess, everything's changed. Now you can breathe again. The air is pure.
Everywhere sprouting from the sidewalk.
The pigeons are flying.
Now, Douglas, you can throw your fireballs up and it won't go out.
You wouldn't believe it. On the boulevard, people are shaking hands and they don't even say
Oh, my friend. Dear mine, still, your words dazzle our eyes, and Nina's far too busy to translate for you now. The dawn is breaking. and It's making an awful clatter. My poor cats must be starved. What a bore for them if humanity had to be saved every day. They don't think much of it as it is. Nina, my bones, my gizzards,
wrong that a sensible woman can't set it straight in just a few short hours.
There's no long lost star that you cannot reach, for your perfect taste I teach. Tomorrow morning you're brave, tomorrow morning you're strong, tomorrow morning you can begin Someone has beaten you, dear world. Someone has blinded you, dear world. And those who love you defiantly insist that you get off that critical list. One person needs a job, and one person can sow a war. If one person can hold the torch, then one person can change the world. If music is no longer lovely, if laughter is no longer lilting, if lovers are no longer loving, then I don't want to know. My memories all are exciting, my memories all are enchanting, my memories burn in my head with the setting love. So if my friends, if love is dead, I don't want to know. All human race, love, you're not a terminal case, love. We're not quite ready to trade you for the wounds of the dear world, dear world, dear world, and get the
doesn't seem to be here tonight, but we have flowers for her anyway.
Well, look at who knows who. Where's Kate? Rhea.
Minute. I had a heart attack after the last day, but it was a great performance and it was lots of fun, and now we can party. All right. Great job, guys. Thanks.